Hello everyone, my name is Ben the Bold, and welcome to a brand new series. Just a little fun fact for you before we get started. Did you know that the highest point in Sicily is actually right here, is Mount Etna, and it is approximately 10,912 feet tall? I only bring this up to say, what would happen if we decided to go ahead and make Sicily just a little bit taller? That's right, I'm going to play a tall Sicily campaign. I am starting out here as Syracuse. There's my king, here as Syracuse, and I am going to limit myself to staying on this island. I will go ahead and say that I can take this island from the Carthaginians, as well as maybe this island. What province is that in? No, it is in Africa. So I can only take this province, and then these islands as well. I am playing just these two provinces, and I want to see how tall I can make Sicily. So, let's go ahead and get started. The very first thing that happens when you load up a Syracuse campaign is you get this event. Once more, a tentative truce with Carthage holds. Sicily is in an uneasy state of readiness. The seizure of Messania by Carthaginian forces during the Third Sicilian War has surely reduced our strategic control of Sicily, and the city of Syracuse itself is still recovering from a long but ultimately unsuccessful siege. Every eye in the Mediterranean looks to us, gauging our response and waiting for any sign of weakness. Well, we are not weak. Look how angry Agathocles seems over here. We are not weak. We are very strong. I proclaim that I am king of all Sicily, and so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and gain those claims. Those should be the last claims that I get. I will maintain a standing army, hopefully a very strong standing army, but I, again, am just playing this tall, and so let's see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and pick up any trade I can. Let's do some grain. I'm wanting as much food as possible. Good, good. And let's go ahead and use our political influence to pick up some ideas. I'm thinking shipbuilding costs might be useful since we are going to be playing an island nation, but I'm going to go with martial ethos, at least until we conquer the Sicily. Then I like loyalty, and let's do corruption down. I think that'll work for now. That's going to give us monthly tyranny down. It's going to give us a national citizen output, or citizen happiness, which is good, and desired freeman ratio in cities, which is okay. That's going to mean we're going to get more and more manpower, although I am much more interested in increasing my tech. All of that's going to be good, though. Let's look at omens. I could go ahead and just output more research right away. That's good. I'm trying to make this a super tall playthrough, which means I want to be super advanced in my research. Go ahead and just get as many citizens as possible. I'm really going to try to focus on the actual mechanics of the game that are not war in this playthrough, and we'll just see what happens. I'm going to, let's see, I'm making not a lot of money, so I think I'm just going to start out by going national tax rate up. Yes, I think that seems to be the way to go. Tax rate up. Let's just take a look at any inventions. I've got 130 ducats. It might be good to go ahead and just grab a couple inventions. Let's go ahead and get the national tax rate. That's perfect. Import value. Yeah, sure, why not? Omen power is good. Supply limit is fine. I don't think I'm going to do anything with tribesmen. Diplomatic relations could be good. I will say, while I am keeping this tall playthrough, I will not own any territory outside of Sicily. I already start out with a couple vassal states. I am allowing myself to take vassals and maybe feed them territory. So my real power base is going to be right here, but I am going to allow myself that if the time comes, I can have some vassals all over the world. So I think I will go ahead and get diplomatic reputation up. Or claim fabricate? No, I already have all the claims I'm going to want in this playthrough. I'll just do supply limit up right there. That's going to be just fine for now. Let's go ahead and look at our capital city. This is the capital city of Syracuse. We do have a capital fort here. I might actually increase that fort level since it's going to be a pretty prominent location for us. I can already tell you right now, in this city, which hopefully will be huge one day, I'm going to go ahead and build a library because I'm going to want more and more citizens. That's kind of a common theme with our Albion playthrough. Up here, we want more and more citizens. We're trying to push that tech rate up as high as I can. I want to do the same thing here. And let's finally go ahead and unpause the game. So, a month is going to tick by. I already have claims here. I might go ahead and try to go to war right at the start. Do they have any allies? No. And I will get the claim. So right as... How many troops do they have? It would have been... They have 6 cohorts. I currently actually am not able to build any more. I'm going to go ahead and put myself in charge of the army. And let's go ahead and build some archers. That'll give me an army of 10,000 men. They only have an army of about 4,000 or 6,000. So let's go ahead and do that. And right here on November 1st, before they can get any allies, I think I'm going to go ahead and declare war. We'll just see how this goes. I want to declare war for the province of Sicily, although in the end I will take them both most likely. I do have an unmarried ruler, so I'm going to go ahead and find a wife. Let's see. His traits aren't great with charisma or religion, so maybe someone high here. How about you? That seems good to me. I'll lose 23 gold. Oh no! Yeah, it's an unlikely proposal. So, I don't really want to lose 23 gold at the moment. I would gain it back relatively quickly. But... Alright, I'll find someone else. It's because I'm too old, she's too young, so let's arrange another marriage. I lost 10 political influence for no reason. That's unfortunate. What about you? You're 31 years old? No, you're 31 years old. You have worse stats than me and everything. Alright, how about you? You're 28? She's not going to want it either. I'll see what happens. Once again, I'm going to actually do it this time. I'll go into the negative as far as money goes. That'll be okay. I'm poor. It's fine. Gonna go ahead and take this army. It is going to try to siege down their hill fort. They are going to build some men. That's fine. I expected that as much. We are going to win our first battle, and that is huge. I'm going to take you, as well as you, and just try to siege down the territory that they have taken. And we've captured one of their generals, as well as killed 1,000 of their men. That's perfect. Let's see. When I think about assaulting this, they only have 300 people there. Once I move these archers in, as well as these archers in, I probably am going to assault this fort. I see no reason not to. I'm going to go ahead and just recruit. No, I don't have any money. That's right. Oh dear. That's not great. I'm going to lose 10.1 loyalty per month plus some stability. Oh well. It will be okay. I needed a wife. See how many men they have. They've probably actually at this point built more than me, although I have such a good general, I'm not too worried about it. I am going to go ahead and just assault this fort. Boom. I'm going to let the looting be gentle because I am going to just take all their population anyway. I kind of hate that so many of their pops had to die in order for me to take their city. But alas, that is what happened. And we're going to continue on. And again, our general, he's also our king. He's just very good. Hopefully he can win this battle before they are reinforced though. Come on, he has the the tactics advantage in the battle. Yes, that's perfect. And it looks like we will be able to handle them very well. Once again, our king, Agathocles, I'm just going to call him that, Agathocles, is victorious. Don't unsiege that. Come on now. Looks like they're going to move some slaves to Syracuse. That's perfect. I'm okay with that. I will probably, hopefully once Sicily is properly under my control, I will be declaring wars to try to go get some slaves, take over more and more slaves and send them back here. That also means that I'm going to be looking at taking the military tradition, what is it? The slave raid. That way I can actually take my ships, because as I am an island, I do plan on building a very strong navy. Let's actually take this territory. They're not going to siege that down and I'm not too worried about them regaining some morale. I do plan on building hopefully a rather large navy. I don't want to lose 76 gold. Heads will roll. I will gain 5 popularity. I'm all for gaining 5 popularity and gain some tyranny. I'm okay with gaining some tyranny. That actually helps my assimilation speed as well as my slave output, so that's actually going great. It does hurt my general loyalty, which I have no generals. I am the general. Let's actually take just a quick look. Here's my son. He's kind of tremendously terrible. He's also not the most well-looking man. I do wish that he was a little bit better, had a little bit better marshal. Maybe I'll put him in charge of some troops and see if I can get him to have one of those events that will increase his marshal, or even put him in charge of about 10,000 men and send him off as a mercenary. Yeah, I'll become friends. I like friends. Might as well go and trap them on this island so that they are unable to retreat and wipe out all of their men. I think that's how that'll work. We are going to take some casualties here, but our general is just a superb military commander. So they only lost 1,700 men, but because they couldn't retreat anywhere, they all had to be disbanded. And we are going to easily win this first war and take over a large chunk of the Sicilian Sicilian island. This has been a great start to our campaign so far. I'm really looking forward to this. I love the idea of playing tall, and I haven't really had just a tall only playthrough in Imperator Rome yet, and I feel like this game is kind of made for it. At least there's a little bit more to do than a lot of Paradox games as far as the playing tall aspect. And I really want to try, the pop mechanics and everything. So while it may not be as exciting of a campaign on the war front, which I still plan on going to war early and often, I want to after all, I want to push slaves back into Sicily. And I will have to fight some wars just to retake this territory. Plus, I plan on fighting wars for my subject states because I will not be integrating. No, I am instead going to be focusing on maybe expanding my subject states' power base. It is, after all, a tall Sicily run, but I am very happy to take vassals and such. So let's go ahead and sue for peace. And I will go ahead and take the entire eastern half of Sicily. And just to go ahead, get rid of some of that aggressive expansion. Sounds good to me. Alright, let's take a look. We're going to let our manpower reserves tick back up. We're going to move them back. I like this hill fort there, although it might be more beneficial to put it here. So I might think about destroying this fort and building a new one here. In fact, let's go ahead and just hit that fort button to go ahead and get it started. Because even once the island is taken, a fort here will basically cut the island in half, because a fort here, its zone of control should mean that any troops that were to say land over here would have to siege down this fort before it can come over to the eastern side of the island. I have a feeling that the city of Catania will probably be the breadbasket for my entire country. Maybe I should go ahead and look at what kind of trade resources we have. Oh, I thought, alright, so this is olives, not, I thought it was going to be grain. There's grain here. Alright, so there's grain there. There's grain around. Cool, so we actually should be able to build up quite a little breadbasket here with all the grain provinces we have. We'll have horses. One thing that you'll note that we do not have anywhere on our island, and that is iron. Let's see, where even is our closest iron source? Our closest iron source is all the way over here in, what is that, Sardinia? So we are going to be reliant on other people for iron, which is kind of a shame. Maybe we should go ahead and start making friends with the Roman neighbors. You never know what the Romans might do. They might expand extremely rapidly, or they might just sit in this area and not do much in our Albion campaign, which if you're watching this, I highly recommend that you check out our Albion campaign. It started out as a Iceni campaign, but now we have formed Albion. But in the Iceni campaign, Rome just kind of took like this little section of Italy. They didn't even really expand to the west coast or anything in the south. They did kind of move into Gaul, but they really didn't do a ton of expansion. I'm hoping that Rome will actually prove to be kind of a dominant force. If they don't expand into southern Magna Graecia, I want that to be because I stopped them, not because they necessarily just stopped themselves or decided not to go on any kind of like war rampage. So it looks like I am making a ton of food in Syracuse itself. That is good. A child is born. Looks like I have a new son. He obviously doesn't have a ton of great stats as of yet, but maybe as time goes by. I will want to make sure that my political influence is ticking up pretty quick. So I'm going to look at offices, just kind of see where people's loyalties lie. I want them to be highly loyal to me and then also to my son. I don't want a lot of pretenders. I don't want a lot of pretender support. I'm going to look at the law changes that I might be able to get. I think for now, 10% national manpower. I just really like the martial education. It kind of works. I don't really want tyranny kings because, after all, I am trying to increase the number of slaves, or not increase the number of slaves I have, but instead increase the number of citizens I have. If we take a look here, I might consider, let's see, I have a slave promoting into a freeman. I might consider actually building, let's see, an academy that's going to help with the promotion speed. Also, what's going to help with the promotion speed is if I change up my governor policy a little bit, so I might think about doing that. I want, let's see, what's my dominant culture? So my dominant culture is Hellenistic, but I have several Siculians around. I think for now, I want to go to cultural assimilation because I don't like having a non-culture group, a lot of non-culture group pops here. I'm also looking at you. You are currently not allied with anyone. I might as well go ahead and declare war there as well. I could get 52 gold plus some, yeah, that seems like definitely the thing to do. Sounds great to me. Let's see if I have any inventions that I want to use. No, doesn't look like it. Not at least at the moment. Ooh, global monthly food yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take that. I'm gonna go ahead and march in. I will declare war as soon as I get there. The way I see it, Sicily should be mine and might as well hurry up and get it. I am a little worried about fighting Carthage, especially since I don't have any iron. I might consider just building, let's do a couple more light infantry. Why not? They don't help out that much in the battle line, but it's never bad to have them, I guess, because they don't take up a ton of resources, so they don't really hurt as far as attrition goes. Our academy has been built. We'll start thinking about other buildings to build there. I have a feeling Syracuse is going to be kind of the city of the world's desire here in this playthrough. Let's go ahead. I don't love that you are trying to improve Carthage's opinion of you. That makes me think that you might one day try to attack or try to ally with Carthage, and that is the last thing I want. So I am going to go ahead and end you while I can. I think if you remember that very first pop-up that we got at the very beginning of the episode, when it talked about how I had just suffered a defeat against Carthage, and the whole world was looking to see how I would respond to said defeat, well, this is how I'm responding. I am taking back what is mine, and I am taking Sicily for myself. I think I'm probably going to try to wait until Carthage is in a place where it is at war with someone else, and I might think that maybe much of its armies have moved that direction before I actually try to take their last little bit from Carthage, or from Sicily itself. It is I've played some Sicily campaigns before, and it can sometimes be a pain to kick Carthage out of Sicily, especially if you want to take this little island, Millet, here, which I guess is modern-day Malta. But we will do it. I'm not worried about it. It'll happen. In the meantime, let's take a look at our population. So I think the way I'm looking at it, Syracuse will be a big city, of course. Probably Catania will be a big city. Messana will definitely be a big city. Oh, we have the Olympic Games. Who should we move? Let's just send you. You're not a researcher or anything. Looks like we have a big storm coming through. I like the dynamic storms. Those are pretty cool. I would think about maybe assaulting this just to end it sooner, but how many men am I losing per month? 120 per month. They only have 600 people. I have lots of archers and light infantry. I'll let it siege down the old-fashioned way. I'm actually still gaining 12 men per month, so that's not terrible. I'm also gaining some money. Let's take a look at how my economy is doing. I'm going to go ahead and just drop my fleet maintenance down, because I can. Not too worried about maintaining naval dominance for the time being. And I think I'm going to go ahead, let's check this out. I think I'm going to go ahead and build another library here. Oh yeah, you definitely will be a major city, hopefully. As well as you. I think next I am, once again here, going to build another library. Again, we're just trying to increase those pops. Very soon, I think I'm going to switch. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm still building a fort here. I'm going to get some manpower. That's always good. And I'm going to go ahead and let the looting be gentle because I'm going to take these pops anyway. Don't want to kill them off. And boom. This is mine. It's going to increase my aggressive expansion, but I'm going to decrease it by 1/2 right there. And here we go. He may have lost against Carthage in a war before we took over, but he has come back with a vengeance. He believes that his glory is to retake the entire island of Sicily and hold it for his dynasty down the ages. And I think he hopefully will get there. Unfortunately, his son is not as martial-minded as him. His son doesn't care about fighting battles. His son instead cares about governing, which might be exactly what we need when we arrive at that time. Carthage, of course, has a lot more men and ships than we do. And so we really need to pick the perfect time to attack them. They have, it looks like, 2 main armies in Sicily. Looks like Hipponia wants to invite me into a defensive league. Where is Hipponia? Right there. I don't love that idea. I'm gonna say no, man. In fact, I could see myself trying to... Is it possible for me to take Hipponia and then give it away to one of my subject states? Can I declare wars for, like, subject claims, like you can in, like, EU4, for instance? I don't know. Never tried it. Always just tried to expand my own country. We'll have to see what happens here. Alright, let's go ahead and build one of those libraries. That's perfect. And here, as soon as we can, we'll build another library. So we're kind of building libraries everywhere right now. Let's take a look where we're getting pops from. Ooh, this is nice, because I have the cruel trait. Okay, so I've had this event before, and it is kind of dark. Basically, a strapping young adult by the name of Quinticia approached our Basilis in private this morning. In a hushed voice, she spoke of a vision of the near future in which she was found by her loved ones having been ritually sacrificed. With shaking hands, she offers all of her worldly possessions to the state in return for our protection. Well, we have a couple options. We can take good care of her. We can convince her that all is well, gain some stability, as well as her loyalty. Or we can just go ahead and kill her. So we can have her ritually sacrificed. That is a shame, but I want the gold, so I'm going to take it all. Plus, look at our king. He is a fierce man. You can't tell me that he wouldn't ritually sacrifice someone for $100. And a chance to get another invention, maybe diplomatic reputation, or ship damage taken, actually. I'm kind of okay just deleting the fortress here. Yeah, I am going to do that. I know it could have helped against Carthage. In fact, it actually would have sieged down this city, which sieging down a whole city would be quite spectacular. It looks like Carthage has actually taken away one of the settlements off of Sicily, so all the better for us. I'm going to go ahead and just start recruiting some extra cohorts. I'm actually just going to get a bunch of light infantry. I'll just get 2 for now, but eventually build more. I'm going to go ahead and delete that fortress as well. I now have 3 forts. They kind of triangulate my country. Eventually, hopefully once I take all of Sicily, I will probably only have 4 forts in the entire island. One there, one at all the corners, and one right here in the middle. It just kind of works because Sicily is so triangular. Let's go ahead and build maybe 2 more libraries here. Let's see, who should be in charge here? Unfortunately, I think I want my son to be in charge of this army. I mean, I don't really, but he's at least loyal. And he has a good enslavement efficiency, so that's fine. Yep, we'll make him in charge of this army here. He's not going to be great, but we're going to recruit several more light infantries to the army, and we're going to go ahead and start drilling it, since I have the cash to do that at the moment. I'll also drill my army. Part of playing tall means that I need to make sure that my army is very, very good, because I probably won't be able to compete with the bigger nations around me, so I'm going to have to compete tech-wise. So I need to increase my tech, which I'm doing a good job. I'm getting 15.5 research points per month. I also need to increase my military experience. And yeah, I think that first... Oh, looks like I have a new event. Syracuse... Oh, yeah, definitely. Or I could lose some money. I don't want to lose money when I can gain it and get 20% local tax. Anyway, what I was saying is I think I'm going to, because Navy is very important with this island campaign, so I think I'm going to start with Proud Shipwrights and move down at least until I get the Slave Raid ability. That will give me the ability to build these mega polyrene units, which I really, really like what you can do with them. I love that you can, you know, assault forts and even, like, completely destroy forts with a ship. I wish that other Paradox games, particularly EU4, would implement that too. I think that that's probably more realistic in an age of gunpowder than it is in the, not even age of sail, in the age of oars. But yeah, so this one, unfortunately, shipbuilding cost minus 15%. That's really not super helpful to me. But getting the Mega Polyrene units, even the light infantry offense, and that slave raid, because I am going to just kind of constantly, I know it's going to pump up my aggressive expansion, but I'm just going to kind of constantly be going around the Mediterranean, pushing slaves back into Syracuse. Speaking of Syracuse, I think it's time to go ahead and get another building, and I think it's going to be a... There's only 2 Siculians, so there's no real reason to build a theater. So I think I'm still going to go with one more library before I start switching over and building a bunch of academies. I'm once again just going to take national tax rate up. I think that's good. And I'm going to increase that by 1,000 and get 10,000 men in that army. My subjects would join me in this war. Of course, all of Carthage's subjects would join them too. That's a lot of armies to take on, especially for a country that right now only has 12,000 manpower in its manpower pool. So I'm gonna have to, you know, hold off for a minute. But I also don't want to wait too long. It's very beneficial. I can just go ahead and take my island, because this is my island. Or, better yet, it is his island. Look at his eyes. He is a terrifying and menacing sight to behold, isn't he? You can just tell that he's fought in 1,000 battles, and he's won more than his fair share. Let me go ahead and just add a naval commander. How about you? Disciplined, yeah. Looks like there's some war on the Italian, on the tip of the boot down here. That's okay. Petitioner approaches. I could once again have her drowned at the bottom of a well. Oh, this is that same event. Well, I am cruel, and I need the money. So, sorry. I think what I'm going to do first here, since I have some building slots in all these cities, is I'm going to go ahead and just make all of the population in this province just a little bit more efficient. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit that button since I have some political influence to spare. That, unfortunately, is going to mean that I am going to make less money for the next month. Because this whole province is reduced a little bit. Now this is a grain producing... So the downside about this fort here, so I might actually think about at some point changing, moving this fort to here. No, because that also produces grain. So I might actually, once I take the Carthaginian land, actually delete this fort, because I actually want to build, you know, farm buildings here, since both of those provinces produce grain. This province produces grain as well, and I like that. I want to have as much grain as possible, so I am going to go ahead and build, what, a farming settlement? Yes, and that's going to decrease the number of slaves I need for a local surplus. Perfect. Alright, I think I'm going to have to call it quits for today. I'm really enjoying this one so far. I cannot wait to see how tall we can make Sicily rise, and I hope you're enjoying it too. If you want to see what happens next, don't forget to subscribe. Like the video if you want to. You can dislike it if you don't. That's fine. I liked your feedback either way. Anyway, I have been Ben the Bold. You have been you, and this has been the Taller Sicily campaign. Taller than Etna Sicily campaign. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.